Okay, next thing that we will do is to work on our jumping. And well, in order to jump, if I select my soldier, um, when we jump, look at my position on the Y. It's changing, as you see. So it means that in order to jump, this time we need to change the position on the Y. And well, also we need to add few more things because our player also will need to have gravity. We don't have any kind of gravity just yet, and we will need it, and so on. So let's open our player controller script and let's start working on it. What we will need here? Well, we need to have few variables for our jumping. So let's create public floats. Let's call this one jump height. And I will make it 2 by default, 2f by default. We are saying f here because we are using floats, and when you use floats, you need to use f at the end of your numbers. So anyway, we need jump height so that we know how high our player can jump. Also, as I said, we need to have gravity. So let's create public float, and let's call this one gravity simply. And I will make it equal minus 9.81f. It's roughly around same gravity as we have in the Earth. So we can have more logical jumping and jump forces. No, and also we need one variable to store velocity of the player, and this should be our vector free. So we will create private vector free, and let's call this one velocity simply. So as I said, we need this to store velocity of our player. Now, what we need to do after in the update, in the void update, and by the way, this void update will be called every single frame. That's why we are doing a movement and jumping here. And after that, what we can do, we can say that uh, when we are touching some jump key, and if we go in edit project settings, in the input manager, we have a button for the jump. As you see right here, we have jump, which is attached to the space bar. Obviously, you can change this positive button and you can uh, assign it to any key on your keyboard, but I will leave it as it is by very default. But main point is that we have this jump button in the input manager. So in the script, we can say that when we are touching some jump key, something should happen. Well, to do that, we can say if our input dot get button down, and in brackets and quotation marks, we should say jump. Again, it's case sensitive, so type it correctly, jump. So anyway, when we are touching our jump key, which is our space bar, basically what we should do, we should calculate velocity needed to achieve desired jump height. And to do that, there is formula in the physics. It's just square root from jump height multiplied by -2 multiplied by gravity. And it might sound a little bit confusing, but yeah, what to do, it's just a formula. So anyway, we can say velocity dot y, because we only care about y in this case, equals square root. We can say math f dot square root, just like this. And in brackets, we can say, just like I said, jump height multiplied by -2f, and also multiplied by gravity, which we created. That's why we needed this jump height and gravity. So just remember this formula, or don't remember, it's not really necessary. You can always find it later when you need it. But anyway, main point is that with this, we are calculating velocity that is needed to achieve our desired jump height. After that, so after this if statement, we can basically apply our gravity to player's vertical velocity, because we need vertical movement in this case. So we can simply say velocity dot y, and we can use plus equals, and it just means that we are taking velocity.y and we are adding something. In this case, we are adding gravity. And let's multiply it to time.delta time for smooth vertical movement. So right now we applied our gravity to our player's vertical velocity, and only thing that is left is to again use our character controller, but this time instead of using move, which was for the horizontal movement for the left and right, we will be using our velocity. So we can simply say controller dot move, and in brackets we need to say velocity times time dot delta time. And that's pretty much it. Now we are moving our character based on velocity vector, which includes also gravity, since we add gravity as well. And everything will work fine, and that's pretty much it for what you need for your jumping. And let's go through again for very shortly. Now, first of all, we get access to our jump button, and when we jumped, we calculated what height we need to jump with this formula. After that, we just added gravity to calculate our velocity, including our gravity, and then we use character controller dot move again, and instead of move, we used velocity this time. So again, 3 lines, 1, 2, and 3 for the jumping as well. So let's save the script. Let's see what will happen. Let's go back. Let's select our soldier. And yeah, we have gravity, we have move speed and jump height. By the way, we can increase this gravity scale. And for example, my player is falling slowly now, and I like my character to have more snappier falling, because I want my game to be more dynamic. For that, well, we can simply decrease it by a minus 30, our gravity, and now we have much more faster dropping speed. And of course, we don't have animations just yet, but yeah, game looks more snappier. If you want to have more snappier controls, you can use minus 30 or something else. If not, and if you want to have slower dropping, slower gravity, you can leave it as it is, as it was before, minus 9.8. And by the way, if you make changes while you are in play mode, when you stop playing, you look at what will happen to my gravity. When I stop playing, it goes back to minus 9 point or whatever it was. So just make sure to make changes while you are not in the play mode. So I will make it minus 30 outside of the play mode. So that's it. We can save this scene.